Hello everyone. Today I'm going to walk you through the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. It is by Avalon Cameron and the artwork is by Ana Tourian. This deck is currently out of print. It was a limited edition deck that has finished, I think now, posting out to the remainder of the backers. So I apologise if this deck calls to you. It's not really easy to get right now. It's actually quite hot. But there are obviously groups and places that you can pick it up. Just be mindful that there are some people who are profiteering off the deck. There's also scammers who are ripping people off as well. So I would wait a little while, wait until the heat cools off, or perhaps even wait for the possibility of a second edition. Even though Avalon has created this limited edition with the promise that it is the only edition such as this, she's not adverse or shut off to having a second or even third edition, but it will be quite different. A couple of key points she's already discussed, and I'll go through that with you today, but for the most part it will be quite different. So just bear that in mind. This was a gift. A beautiful, incredible gift, which I'm very grateful for. I received it about 2 weeks ago. I'm just so lucky that I received it because it speaks to me. I actually think it's a soul deck for me. I will present it today as if it is an unboxing. I've got all the cards sorted out just as I received them, but of course, you know, it's been well loved since then, so you'll get to see it with a little bit of wear and tear. First off, this is the box it comes in, which is tremendous. It's a beautiful sturdy box, and on the cover is Temperance, one of the major Arcana cards. So this deck is very much a Rider-Waite Smith inspired deck with your major arcanas and minor arcanas, but with the added bonus of one extra major arcana, which we will discuss a little bit further on. So again, very sturdy, beautiful lining. I'm not going to keep my cards in the box, mainly because I like them to be a little bit more accessible. This is the book. It is a tomb of information. We'll go through that in a moment. And this is how the cards came. So it's very well made. It's padded inside. So the cards are well protected. In the back of the box, we have some illustrations, including the back of the card. And it reads, "Step into the primeval world of the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. Glimpse through the looking glass at a time bursting with sacred divine landscapes and enduring narratives. Here you will meet and journey with the hero, villain, lover, and warrior. Those who are sovereign and those who, whether by choice or circumstance, suffer to a bitter end. This is a world between a world, a place of discovery, redemption, damnation, and explosive self-realizations." It goes on further to talk a little bit about Avalon, the Creator. "I'm a hereditary witch who was born and raised in Brazil and who now resides in the Huon Valley of Tasmania, Australia. I'm a coven-based witch, professional card slinger, creator, and writer. I have a genuine love and respect for the art of tarot. I have been reading tarot for more than 20 years and have no plans of stopping. It is a privilege to be able to share my passion and support others in cultivating their own enriching experiences with tarot." Beautiful. So this is the amazing companion book which comes with the deck. There are in total 325 pages. The Bonestone and Earthflesh is dedicated to the mystics, the seers, the dreamers and the weavers, but most of all it is dedicated to those who watched on as Anna and I brought this deck to life. Your support made this possible, your humour made it great, and your trust in us made the Bonestone and Earthflesh pure magic. So one very unique aspect about this deck was that it was created with the backers. They had input in the design and various images in the deck, which makes it quite unique. They did those live. They're still available now. They're called the Bone Bashers, and I've quite enjoyed watching them. It's given me a deeper understanding and appreciation of the cards. And there's Anna's sketch of the Fool. Close all windows, close all doors, utter not one single word. Let only those of truest blood see that which my heart and mind be made seen. They who dare journey these pages, this knowledge is secret handed down through the ages. And with that insight and fresh in mind, these words to you I now do bind. May the strength of the old enter the new, this blessing mine I give to you, and for those of you with unfaithful eyes, may your lips be bound and your tongue be tied. By the power of earth, air, fire and water, from the lover of a mother, son and daughter, let it be. That's my dog. I have many dogs. So that's the binding that came with the book. That's caused a little bit of controversy with some people. I came late into the equation. This doesn't impact me at all, so I'm not fussed either way. So included are some tips, some steps in working with your deck, journaling, path working, etc. A little bit of the background of how it came about. Also some of the influences that went behind the deck. A ritual, I really like this. And some loose smoke incense recipes, which I really like too. A couple of spreads. Meet Your Guide spread, which I've already done and I love. That was beautiful. And then it goes into the major arcana. So each section has the correspondences, the essence of the card, the narrative. So Avalon has included a story, what it means in your reading, its reverse meaning, and then some journal prompts. And a black and white thumbnail of the image there. Goes right down to the end. So she's packed in a lot of information here. This is the Gilding. It's a bright, shiny red. I really like it. I don't have anything else quite like it. I've used them a fair bit, as I've said, so they're starting to show a little bit of wear as Gilding does, but it's not so bad. I don't mind. Well loved. Avalon has expressed that if she could have had the choice between a matte Gilding or this shiny one, she would have chosen the matte, but at the time she didn't. She didn't have a choice, so we went with the red, and it is what it is. I don't mind it at all. I love the depiction of the Fool here, and it is by far one of her most popular cards in the deck. I love how she's peering into the abyss, about to step into the void and the unknown. The otherworldly creatures around her, the fairy, the spider, the mushrooms. Every time I look at this card, my eye falls on something new, there's some new symbology, something calls out to me, and that is a theme that runs through this tarot. The Magician, Gandalf inspired, playing with the elements and creating an elemental dragon. The High Priestess, again we can see the Rider-Waite Smith influence here with the black and the white, and she acting as a conduit for the void, sitting in between these two spaces. The Empress, I really enjoy the hint of the cornucopia here, but there's also this element of surrender and sovereignty that she has of her landscape. The Emperor, traditionally a male, here is depicted as a female, and behind her she has the support of all her ancestors. The Hierophant, beckoning you to come closer, to listen to her wisdom. The Guide, the Wise One, and again you can see so many beautiful symbolic runes and images sketched throughout this image, sketched throughout this art. This is one of my favourite cards in the deck. The Lovers, entwined for eternity. The Chariot. There's a little bit of controversy around this particular card, especially with the word gypsy. When Avalon first created the deck, she used that word, and since it has now become a slur. At the time, she didn't know it. To be honest, even now, a lot of people don't know it. She has said that if she does a second edition of this deck, that is something that she will change. Strength. The Hermit. There's a connection here between the Hermit and the Hierophant. She is almost a younger version of that archetype. I really love the Virgo constellation that she's holding in her hand, because as we know, the Hermit is connected with Virgo. I love the depiction of the cave here in the primitive drawings, as she's gone into the womb of the earth to gather knowledge, to gestate, to initiate, and to be reborn as the Guide. Justice, a beautiful balance of the nurturing and gentle with the powerful and lawful Athenian energy. Wheel of Fortune, the Weird Sisters, the Fates, those who thread, spin and cut the thread. The Hanged Man, here represented by Odin, hanging from the world tree, sacrificing himself for the knowledge and the illumination of the runes. An initiation, but also a transcendence taking place. Death. I love this depiction of death, the roots in the earth and the spirit shown as birds flying into the sky. Temperance. And this is where we honour the name of the tarot, Bonestone and Earthflesh, as seen, the skeletal hands above and the gnarly hands below. The Devil. This is one of my favourite cards as well. I love the Medusa style headdress combined with the hoofs of the goat sitting upon a mountain of skulls, gold and jewels slipping from her fingers. I'm not sure what she's holding there. It could be a pomegranate. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The Tower, bit of controversy around this image. During one of the Bonestone bashes, a lot of people did not want this image included. they found it too distressing to see the beautiful eagle grounded, lost its ability to fly, almost at the brink of death. It's jarring but accurate. The tower is about the breakdown of structure, the loss. But what makes it better is the star, with the eagle being reborn through this archetype. I love that. The moon. And Ana Tourian, if there's one thing she does well, is she paints a beautiful moon, and this is a fine example of that. I love the whirling energy around her feet and the night moths flying through her hair. The sun, beautiful upon the maypole, joyous celebration of life and fertility. Judgment, the crossroads and initiation, naked in our honest truth. The world is represented by the tree, the world tree, which I absolutely love. I think that's a beautiful depiction. Let's move on to the swords, the element of air, and we begin with the ace. I love the quill here representing the swords. Two of Swords. I'll just move along quickly with these ones. I love this blow in the face from a false friend. I think anyone who's experienced this can really relate to that shock. Lovely depiction of the Ten of Swords. I mean, they're all beautiful. There's the page. There's the knight. Notice how they're coming closer. The Queen, the Morrigan, and the King of Swords. King Arthur with his sword. Moving along now to the water element and the cups. Here we have the ace. Beautiful blood moon. Two of Cups. Celebration of the three. Beautiful. This is a very evocative image for me. I love the acknowledgement of the powerful elephant, its memory and its ability to grieve. Six of Cups, and he's holding on there, the beautiful little forget-me-nots. Seven of Cups. Eight of Cups. Another emotive image, this time of Morgana, when she's first dropped off near the shore of Avalon, the barge leaving her, her looking behind, her old life left, and yet as she's about to retreat, a new life is about to begin. Really love how the light is shining forward as she's looking back. Wow. Nine of Cups. Love the peacock feathers. Ten of Cups. I get this as being the vessel that holds all that essence of the Ace of Cups. It's beautiful. Page. Knight. The Queen. Poseidon, the King. And now we continue on with the element of fire and the suit of wands. We begin with the Ace of Wands, which is Ouroboros. There has been some controversy around this image. people have mistaken this for an American Indian image and are saying that it's cultural appropriation. I just want to add that Avalon is actually from Brazil. This is a scene that she has personally experienced, witnessed, growing up as a child, coming from a hereditary line. She was often involved and exposed to these tribal rituals. And here we can see someone being tattooed by a shaman, a medicine man, being prepared either for initiation or war, perhaps a hunt. Regardless, it's an incredibly powerful image. And I love the shamanic feel to the deck. Four of Wands. Such a tender and beautiful card. Five of Wands. Six of Wands, our hero. Seven of Wands. There she is with determination and grit. I love this energy that's evoked from these running horses, but particularly those riders on their backs, needing to have the skill and grit and determination not to fall off, but to also direct these horses. Knight of Wands. Ten of Wands. I don't know. I'm a mum. I've got kids. I really relate to this. The Page. The Knight. The Queen. The King. And there are our court cards. Finally, we have the element of Earth and the Pentacles. We begin with the Ace of Pentacles. Again, a beautiful, absolutely beautiful image here. And Avalon must obviously agree because it is the cover of the book. This is probably the one image that underwhelms me the most in the entire deck. I have a soft spot for the Two of Pentacles. It is the minor arcana card that depicts the High Priestess. I get where they're getting here. I understand the concept. However, I don't know if it was executed properly. Three of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Five. Six. Beautiful acts of generosity. Seven. Harvesting the mushrooms. 8. 9. Oh, this is... I love how she's managed to capture the spiritual aspect of the material. How initially it can begin as having enough and making sure that we have strong foundations and have enough money and a roof over our heads and food in our bellies. But it should get to the point where it is a total expression of your spirit within the earthly plane. And this is perfectly expressed here through the Nine of Pentacles. 10. Page. Got a little bit of a crush on him. The Knight, another favourite. The Queen, and I love how Avalon has included various ages and people from different cultures and backgrounds. It gives a very multicultural feel to the deck, and it makes it quite ageless. The King. Finally, we have the 23rd Major Arcana included, which is the Bruja. Now this card depicts Avalon in this archetype. It is based on her appearance, so it looks like her. It was actually a surprise by her best friend and Ana. So it's not something she actually knew about. I don't know how comfortable she would have been if she actually did know about it, but I think it's a beautiful addition to the deck. The Bruja. Surrender, trust, patience, self-improvement, empowerment, division, letting go, soul work, self-help, between worlds, guidance, spiritual blindness, stubbornness, denial, impatience and blockage. The Bruja is a walker of the worlds. She calls out to realms behind the veil, above, below, within and without. She is in tune with the great Mother Earth and the realm of spirits, able to bend the elements to her will and persuade the ancestors for assistance in times of struggle. She whispers her magical secret to the trees, listens to the soft voices of flowing waters, the raven and dragonfly she calls friends, and dances with the flames of the cauldron fire. Spirit flows through every fibre of her being, mind, body and spirit, her flesh of the earth, her bones of the sacred stone. A beautiful and befitting tribute to Avalon. Now, one last thing before I give these all a little bit of a shuffle, a couple of things actually, was again in regards to the Chariot. When this card was created, Ana Tourian had a great deal to do with the influence behind it. She is Romanian. This is part of her heritage also. And yeah, I guess if people have issues with cultural appropriation, I understand they are at times very, very valid. But in this instance, I think not. This was Anna's influence. Just something I forgot to mention before. And finally, I want to show you the various colour palettes. These slide so easily. They're so beautiful to use. The cardstock is incredible. Basically the best that you can get. And it shows, it's stunning. Really easy on the hand. You can appreciate the beautiful and various colour palettes that Ana has included with the various suits. As I mentioned, they shuffle very, very easily, as you can tell. Beautifully. No stickiness. They're a matte, so they're not glossy. You don't have the issues with glossy cards. And again, there's the gilding. Beautiful. Lovely. And I'll just finish off with the poem at the end of the book. Just want to say too, there's a little bit of a story behind this deck, and I haven't wanted to bring too much attention to it because I think in time it won't matter as much. When Avalon put this deck together, it was her very first creative venture with Ana, and she had a lot of blows along the way which stalled the production and the release of the deck. Things such as a divorce, we had major fires and Tasmania was impacted, and then the virus and the viral pandemic which stopped the world, and then of course the actual just mistakes that people make when they've never done something to this scale before. Some people have been really kind and understanding and patient with her, and I really appreciate those people. And a very few, not very many, have not been so kind. And I have a hard time understanding that because they could have received a refund at any time, but they chose to wait. Anyway, all I want to say is that yes, there are a couple of things with the deck, particularly with the word gypsy, But I doubt very many people even now understand that it's a slur. She's apologized. She's delivered those decks now. I think we should be more forgiving and supportive and really encouraging of our creators to learn from their mistakes. Maybe I'm a little bit selfish in saying this, but I just want her to make more. I honestly do. I love this deck. It resonates very deeply with me. I love the beautiful imagery. I love the book. There's nothing about this I do not like. I really, really do love it. And I know it calls to a lot of people, and I would love to see this deck arrive in the hands of the people who deserve to have it. I'm sure it will. It's magical in that way. Just as it arrived to me, it can arrive to you. I honestly believe that. But as I said, I think we need to be forgiving and supportive and allow people to grow from their mistakes so that they can make more beautiful things. And Avalon has said it is possible she may do another edition, possibly two. They will not be the same, but I'm sure they will be just as magical and just as potent as this. Roots entwine with bones of stone while spiders spin their silken web. Sacred wisdom finds its home in creation, life and death. The raven and celestial ebb, they whisper truths in language old. For the children of the ancients, these secrets now unfold. Our earth and flesh, it holds the weight of this strange and worldly realm, like the gnarled, twisted bark of the wise and beautiful elm. So we stretch our roots, we heal our souls and work hand in hand with fate. By Chelsea Delaney. And that is it. Thank you very, very much for joining me through my walkthrough. If you made it through the end, that's amazing because it's gone a little while. But yeah, blessings, take care. Until next time, it's goodbye from me.